Hold on, y'all. Before we get started, just look at this dude right here. He does not give a F. Look at this. Look at his hair. Look at his facial expression. Man, look at his collar. He didn't even iron his shirt. Is this who they're putting on the news? Oh my gosh, there's no dignity. Come on, man. That just looks raggedy. But let's get into it.
New at 6, a Channel 2 Action News exclusive. We're using body camera video and evidence
And then the
photos to piece.
contrast. So you had that dude over there, and now she's looking as clean and pristine as can be. That is hilarious.
Together how prosecutors got a life sentence for a man they say waged a 12-day reign of terror in a Southeast Atlanta neighborhood. And Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie is live in the newsroom. Mark, you learned he had 6.
Damn. Why did they describe it like that? A 12-day reign of terror. Like he's the villain of Thundercats or something. Goodness gracious. Boy, us brothers, we can't get a break. They got to add the extra little flavor to our crimes. A 12-day reign of terror. Man, just say he committed some crimes, man.
Other convictions.
That's right. The lead prosecutor on the case from the Fulton County DA's office says Drayshawn Mitchell was an admitted gang member, though he says he has now quit the gang and the jury deadlocked on gang charges. She calls it 12 days of terror in Thomasville.
Hey, get on the ground. Someone get a car. Get on the ground. Get a car.
Mr. Mitchell is just really a menace to society.
On your face. Hey, we need someone back up there. Back up there. Someone back up. All right, somebody move in.
3 shootings in less than 2 weeks in the same Southeast Atlanta neighborhood.
12 days of terror in Thomasville.
Says Fulton County Senior Assistant District Attorney Amanda Green, culminated with a homicide. The victim, Willie Henderson III. And she says Drayshawn Mitchell, a Rollin 60s Crips gang member at the time, the gun-wielding author of the 12 Days of Terror in Thomasville, has a troubled history. 6 prior felony convictions. And because 4 of them came before the spring 2022 shooting spree, the court case that came from it culminated with a sentence that could bring him thousands of days in prison.
Judge Emerson sentenced him to life without the possibility of parole, plus 91 years, which is the maximum that he could have received for the charges he was.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot going on here. So maybe they weren't being spicy with that title. Maybe he really did. It was 12 days of terror, 12 days of massacre in his neighborhood. Dang. And then, did you guys catch at the beginning where they said he said he was in a gang and then said he's not in it no more? This is a plumb fool. So you basically just admitted you were in the gang. So that's an admission. They can have that now. There's no going back and taking it back. So we have that. Then we have the fact, I don't know why they said thousands of days, but then they said 91 years. You know what I mean? Like 3 years is 1,000 days, just about. 3 years is 1,000 days, right? 91 days, yeah, that's thousands of years, all right. That's his whole life. I still don't know if they really went into detail as far as what he was actually doing. They mentioned that he did go on a shooting spree, but I heard them say either 3 people or 3 days. I'm wanting to know what he did over the course of this entire, 12 days, this dozen days. Like, what did it, like, was it multiple crimes? Was he shooting some days? Was he robbing some days? Was he pillaging other days? Like, a reign of terror. And how does a neighborhood just let one dude have a reign of terror? He ain't the only one with a gun, but let's see. We still halfway through.
found guilty on.
She says Mitchell was convicted of felony murder. Additional charges stemming from shooting another man 4 times in the April 5th, 2022 incident in which Henderson died, for shooting a gun to frighten a teenage girlfriend who was not struck on March 25th, 2022, and for a similar incident with another girlfriend April 1st, 2022, and more. Defense attorney Tim Cook.
He believes he was wrongfully convicted, and so we will be filing a motion for new trial within the statutory time period of 30 days. And so that should be filed shortly.
Ms. Green says the jury deadlocked on a straight-up murder charge involving Henderson and on numerous gang counts, though Mitchell admitted on the stand he was a gang member at the time.
He told the jury that in the neighborhood that he grew.
That's what I'm trying to understand. He's in a gang, but it sounds like he was doing this by himself. See, I can understand a reign of terror for 12 days from a gang, right? I can understand a year of terror if a gang has taken over a certain area. But it sounds like he went rogue, right? He became a vigilante, right? The opposite of a vigilante. He was just doing straight up bad. But it sounds like he was just operating on his own because they haven't brought in any other people into this case. So sounds like he's that one crazy person in the gang where they're like, oh no, he's a little too extreme.
Grew up, there was peer pressure from a very early age to align yourself with people who would protect you from others. This was a dog-eat-dog world. It was unfortunate.
This was a ballistics case. Ballistics is what solved this homicide. The March 25th incident, the casings that were collecting at that incident matched the casings that were collected at the homicide scene.
Cook says Mitchell maintains Henderson had shot at him earlier, and Mitchell was afraid he and the man with him were about to again.
It was a self-defense case.
The fact that your client was steeped in the gang culture, do you think that made him more likely to turn to guns to use during a dispute?
Unfortunately, yes.
DA Fonnie Willis.
Gang members are much more likely to, one, do crime at all, and certainly to do more violent crime.
So Prosecutor Green says Mitchell testified someone told him Henderson had fired at him earlier, and he went to investigate, and that another person with him also fired when they confronted Henderson. She says both Henderson and the other man who was shot but survived had guns. She says Mitchell testified that he recently quit the gang.
So he did have somebody with him. So, but it sounds like he was the only one that actually did something. So probably that other person was able to basically, he was with him, but he didn't actually engage or, with an actual act of violence or a crime. So they didn't really go into the days of terror, though. I was still curious about that. Sounds like this was just one incident, and then maybe he might have had also another incident with like his baby mother or something, or his girlfriend. But he's trying to act like now he can try to take back the gang stuff, like I'm not in the gang no more. And I think maybe he wasn't in the gang no more. Maybe they said, bruh, you doing too much. You putting too much heat on us right now. You got us under the microscope. Chill. And maybe he's just like, nah, I don't want to chill. I want to get active. And so they said, nah, you are revoked. Your gang privileges are revoked. But yeah, I mean, just another one of these dudes just been inspired by this culture to just go out here and run amok and terrorize and bring havoc to his neighborhood, right? The other people like him. So it's misguided, it's stupid, it's foolishness. But guys, we'll leave it there. If you want to join the Limitless Legion, subscribe to the channel. Also, I need you guys to leave a like. Helps the algorithm know that we are building something real. Cash App's linked in the description if you want to buy your boy iced coffee. And then also you can feel free to join the Patreon, where I do have exclusive self-improvement content there, as well as self-improvement content that I do post on this channel along with the reactions. But until then, I will catch you guys in the next video.